What's going on, and welcome to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Dude, just sitting here, like I just got like, I'm like looking up airports and stuff like that, figuring out where I want to fly, what do I want to show off in the game while I'm here. I forgot how cool this game is. I don't know if it actually will show up on the screen, but if you look over on the top right where it says release parking brake, right underneath of it, it's about to go underneath of it, there's a little tiny flashing light. I'm pretty sure that's an actual like plane that's like flying around that is being picked up on GPS and put into my game. And if that is the case, that is about the coolest thing that's ever happened. Okay. We're gonna release the parking brake. I do not remember how to play, so we're having the objectives up there in the top right corner. They are helping us a lot. Okay. Trying to keep the aircraft straight, not doing a great job. There it goes. There it goes. There we go. Okay, so anyway, I guess I could talk about where we are and what we are doing. Oop, hit my butt. I hit my butt. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. And we're in the sky. Okay. So we are taking off from Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Dayton, Ohio. Okay. What's going on? Nope, I'm fine. I'm fine. What's happening? To maintain a positive I'm trying! I'm trying! No! Okay. Not sure what went wrong. Can my wheels come back out? No. Okay. To automatically reset the aircraft in the air, press that. Hey, there we go. AI is currently flying. Okay. If we could not die. Anyway, I don't feel like this is the greatest representation of Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. Don't know if you've ever been lucky enough to go there. But it is like a city inside of a city. Although, you know what? To be fair, this is the airstrip. I don't know where the actual museum is in relation to the airstrip. Because they have several large hangars. Things are bad. Things are bad. We're fine. This is a squirrely plane, let me tell you. Anyway, so what's our objective here? What are we doing? Well, assuming I can actually keep the plane in the air, we're gonna try to find some of the places that I used to go to, you know? That says Bath. That's weird. What else do we have out here? Now, the problem is, I haven't been to Dayton in 15 years. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember it probably as well as I should. And I was looking at the map before I came in. I think right now I'm heading towards downtown Dayton, roughly. Okay, I think this is the museum. This is totally the museum right here. Because see all the planes sitting out there? Those are the planes that you can go up and like check out and stuff like that and like examine and stuff. I think this is the actual museum. So I actually, you know what, I'm gonna do a little fly around. So those are the hangars right there for the actual museum. And this is why I was confused, because you see the runway right over here. But I think I don't think it's used for, like, it's not like their legitimate Air Force Base runway. It is like an extra runway or something. But anyway, it looks a million times nicer than this when you're actually there, but this is actually a fairly good representation. I mean, they even have the planes outside. That's the coolest part. Like, because when you go there, again, there really are planes sitting outside that you get to go up and like check out, because you like park over, actually I don't know where you park. You might just park right over there, like in that little side area. Anyway, let's keep moving on. What else do we have going on here? Now I'm lost. Now I'm lost. Can hit me with some landmarks. Do we got any landmarks around here? I should have maybe looked for a landmark that I recognized, to then go towards. Okay, there's Northridge. Okay, so I think Northridge is the northern section of Dayton. So Dayton is clearly over this direction. If we can get to downtown Dayton, maybe if we find Sinclair Community College, that's looking like downtown Dayton. Yeah, Dayton, not a big city, by the way. It's big for Ohio. It's big-ish for Ohio. And there's a lot of suburbs to it. There's a lot of like space and stuff, but actual like downtown Dayton itself, very small for the most part. It's maybe like, I don't know, like 10 blocks by 10 blocks or something. Roughly.
Columbus approach, Diamond Alpha Sierra X-ray Golf Sierra, 2,000 feet.
Okay. Now, how slow can I balance out here? There we go. Nope, balance out, and then let's decelerate. I don't know how slow you can actually go and then not crash. We're gonna hope it's fairly slow. Okay. Hold on, no. There's a way to freeze my plane in the air. There's totally a way to freeze my plane in the air. Hold on. I am certain that there is a way to freeze your plane in space and look around. Camera mode switches, maybe? Next smart cam target. Man, I don't know. I don't know the controls well enough. All the cockpit interactions. No, it would definitely have to be in camera, right? Slew. Instrument views, fixed camera, external camera. Dude, I could have sworn there is a way to pause the game and look around. I don't know. We're just gonna have to just try to figure it out. Okay, so now we're in downtown Dayton. We're gonna fly. It's smaller than Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. That's how small it is. It's smaller than Wright-Pat Air Force Base. So we've got to figure out where I'm trying to look. What am I trying to look for? Actually, I mean, you know, I probably should. Is this even downtown Dayton? Who knows? But could be. I'm looking for any identifying landmark. Now, you'd think maybe, hey, you know, the college you just talked about. God, I wish I could pause you. God, I want to freeze you in the air so bad.
Columbus approach, Diamond Alpha Sierra X-ray Golf Sierra. Request clearance to transition
okay.
Charlie airspace.
I mean, I like that they actually have the key bank label on here, which is very funny. Dude, this game looks better than it used to, I feel. It's looking awfully sharp here. Okay. I'm trying real hard to find some kind of landmark that I recognize. Again, I haven't been here in a long time. Like, where's the cobblestone road? Where's the cobblestone road? There is one street in downtown Dayton that is a cobblestone road, and it has all the bars, and it's where you go to party at night and on the weekends. If I could find that, I'd have an idea of where I was. Where's the art museum? Where is the graveyard? I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure I lived south from Dayton. So let's try and find something here. Man, this ain't going well, huh? I was like, oh, dude, I'm gonna get up in the air over Dayton. I'm gonna know exactly where I am, where everything is, what everything is. Like, what football field is this? Like, I don't even remember there being a football field. So now I'm like, am I in the wrong place. Like, where is this? Where am I at? Welcome Stadium. But, like, give me more information. Hold on. By the way, the graphics have definitely gotten better in this game. This is way more detailed than it was previously, I feel. Nope, nope. Pull up, 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 pull up. There we go. That's not feeling great. Okay, there we go. Welcome Stadium. Darn you, 30 frames per second. I mean, I guess I could just go and like crash into it. Well, I failed. Was it, how do I get back up in the sky? Right bumper and up on the D-pad. There it is. Okay, well, that didn't work.
Columbus approach Diamond Alpha Sierra.
Where
Golf Sierra is type
on
Diamond
Earth
DA 62 4 miles northeast of India 7 Tree, 2,600
are
feet.
we?
Request flight following.
Man, dude, I feel like I'm gonna have to, like, Google Maps this. Which is ironic, because this uses Bing Maps, I suppose. Okay.
Squawk 6112 Diamond X-ray Golf Sierra.
See, the other thing is, and I'll be honest, and this might sound bad, like, dude, I apparently did not know my city very well. Because there's so much I don't recognize. Okay, let's head towards Oakwood and Kettering. Kettering should be around here somewhere. Now, I definitely didn't live in Oakwood, because I can tell you, Oakwood was like where the nice houses were, and that's not where I lived. That's not where I lived at all. Like, now I'm like, if this is Kettering, like, how is that Dayton? Because none of this makes any sense. I have no idea where I'm at. Can I... Oh my god, that's it. That is the coolest thing. Okay. Give me... Can I get more information on this map? If it's an ISO line map, what does that mean? I have no idea. I can't tell the difference. Yes, I would like this to be bigger, please. Okay. That doesn't help. Can I want to do stuff on this map. Huh. Okay, well, I don't think that's helping. Hey, buddy, flight assistant. Anything interesting nearby? Yeah, I know how to exit cursor mode. Could you get this tip off the screen so I can interact with the box, please? No, you can't. You refuse? Okay, I will move the box over here. Thank you. Interesting places around me. Cities, airports, fauna, landmarks. Okay, there's no landmarks in Dayton. My bad. There's no fauna in Dayton. There's airports. They're all pretty close. I don't know which one's the right one. I don't remember living close to it. Kettering's nearby, Riverside. Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. Like I said, as big as a city, it's got its own city inside of it. Miamisburg, Miami, Bellbrook, Shiloh, Harrison, Dayton. I gotta be honest. This is sad. I don't know. I have no idea. Let's keep going. So this is Kettering. And man, none of the there's the amount of trees is really causing me some issues. Like, there is a shocking amount of trees. Okay. So if we're near Kettering, I want to be like on the edge of Kettering and Dayton. That's where I lived. I don't know where that is, though. Now, I'm wondering, now, is this the mall? Is one of these the mall? Because that's actually some pertinent information. Man, you go back home and you think you're gonna recognize everything, and it's just an alien location. This could be the mall. There also was an abandoned mall, in Dayton, that I don't know if they ever did anything with it. Could be that too. I mean, this is starting to look. This looks. Yeah, could you please get that off my screen? Now, let's take a second and look around, okay? Here, I'll turn down, I'll turn off the game audio so you don't have to listen to the buzzing of the plane. So, what am I looking for here? What's the kind of landmark I need to discover what I'm after? So, we're going to combine this. All right, we're going on a mission. We're going on a mission here of glorious freedom. So it turns out I don't know my city. You know? That's the Hold up. Hold up. The bridge. I know where we are. Holy crap. I know exactly where we are. Okay. Whoa, whoa, whoa. This football this is my elementary school. Well, it's not. My elementary school was torn down. Okay. After my elementary school was torn down, they rebuilt it, but in like a different part of the property. So it used to be like over here, and then it had like this huge chunk of property that was all woods. So when you went out on recess, dude, you could just go. Like, you could go so far away from the school, and it was not fenced in at the back. There were like roads back, like you could just leave. People could come in, like it was not necessarily a safe place where, you know, like they didn't stop me when I was like in first grade from like sprinting away from all the teachers and disappearing. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. It's totally different now. They fenced it in and they made it much more secure and stuff. But this was like the high school that I thought I would go to, where they played like football and stuff like that. But I forget why I couldn't go to that high school, but I couldn't. So over here though, this bridge, this is how I know this. This bridge right here that goes right over this. And I'm pretty sure there's actually another little bridge somewhere right around here that's got a walking path. But when I would come home, we had to take public transportation to get home, and then we would come through here and then hit this road. I think. Yes. Okay. So I used to work at Arby's, and I think that's Arby's. Or that one's Arby's. One of these two is like Arby's, and then there's like a KFC. I mean, to be fair, this could be Arby's, and then this could be the KFC. But anyway, I worked right in one of these buildings right here. Not only did I work in one of those buildings, over here, this looks like a few different little buildings, and actually they might be separated a little bit. This is Burger King, and right in here, this used to be called, right where I'm pointing, I think, because this was like a gas station, like a successful corner store gas station. But right here, not on the corner and kind of tucked away, was the Linden Avenue shortstop. And that is where I used to work. They does not exist anymore. It closed down. My boss, Jim, used to be a Vietnam War vet. He had super long white hair, and he always walked across the street to KFC. That is totally KFC. That's the KFC right there. He'd walk across the street to KFC. I think. It might be that one. Anyway, he'd walk across the street to KFC every single day, and he would go and get lunch from KFC. He would often get the pot pie. Totally get it. It's awesome. But he was really nice, and I worked there for a long time. I was not the best employee. I tried really hard, but I definitely gave away 40 bucks one time on accident to someone who was playing the lottery. Anyway, so that means this road through here should be, I could be wrong about all this, should be Woodman. Yes, I think that road should be Woodman. Can I have control of my plane, please? Thank you. Okay, so we're gonna decelerate a little bit, try to get a good turn going. There we go. All right. Okay, so I think this is Woodman. Now, there should be, I don't know how accurate it's going to be, there should be a big four-way stop in here. And again, I don't know if it's going to have necessarily the entirety of the four-way stop, but we're going to try. Toggle pause. That's it. I think. To be fair, there were a few. This is the one. This is the one. Okay. So that was my elementary school. So this is cool because I actually am like mapping out my actual life. So this road that runs right through here and intersects with this big road called Woodman, this is called Woodbine. Now, my grandma lived on Woodbine. She does not anymore. She lives in the general area, kind of, but not on Woodbine. So, couple of things. Right here, this is a church. They've got a big field. This is actually a basketball court. I mean, again, I guess it could be different. It's been 15 years, but this was a basketball court. I remember I used to play basketball there a couple times with my friend Josh and Zach. Unfortunately, Zach is no longer around, and I miss him very much. But that is neither here nor there. My grandpa, who is also not around anymore, also miss him very much. My grandma lived like down here, and I spent, up until I was about 5, I spent most of my time with my grandpa, as I remember it. I was there a lot. And we would walk down the sidewalk, and we'd come over here, and there was a pear tree right in front of this church, and we'd come down here, and we'd pick pears. And then he'd pull out his pocket knife and he'd cut up the pears for me. But he died when I was about 5. So, the unfortunate thing. But yeah, anyway, so we'd come and like pick pears and eat them. And then we'd go back and he'd make me like paper airplanes and stuff like that. And it was a good time, you know, early 90s. It wasn't like I was playing. I mean, he bought me my first video game system. He bought me a Nintendo at a garage sale. He brought it home in a paper bag. And it had like 20 games with it, and it was my first console. I wish I still had it, honestly. Just for the memories, just because he's the one who got it for me. Unfortunately, when I was a kid, you know, you could sell those things and you could get a lot of money for it and you could get a lot of new stuff, and I wanted to do it, and I did. I try not to let my son do that, though. I try to make him keep everything because one day he might want it. So if I'm able to, I give him money, even though he could sell stuff and get it, and then I take the stuff and I keep it for myself. Not like keep it for myself, but like I keep it. So that way it's, again, one day he wants it, it's there. Anyway. So we're going over this way. Now, not only did My grandpa used to live, it was like in one of these houses too. Not only did my grandpa well, maybe it was like one of these houses. Not only did we live over there, now I'm like, is it this road? I don't think no. Because this was like honestly, it genuinely might be, it might be this house. I don't know. Anyway, my uncle, who's also dead, I know a lot of dead people, drove his car drunkenly through the front of the house one time. Anyway. So, this is the church. This is the road. My grandma's house was like right in here somewhere. Not only was that there, right back in here, I think right about here, because I think he lived on the same block as the church. That's where Zach lived. He lived on this corner right here, actually. And, yeah, just a huge part of my life when I was growing up. So that's where he lived. He would ride his bike over to my house after school, and we'd play Halo 2 all the time. Like, every day. Not only that, my grandma lived here. I used to get babysat by a lady named Ruby, who, unfortunately, she's also dead. She lived back in this area. I don't want to say for sure, like, which house it was, like, because I remember you'd leave my grandma's house, which I'm starting to feel like is really right here. You'd walk up, and if you took this little side street right here, also, one of the people I went to school with lived right here, and she lived right here on this corner house. I think her name was Kelly. But anyway, you'd walk up this road, and then it was one of these streets back in here. I'm not sure which one. Ruby lived on one of them most of the way down. She lived on like the fourth house from the end. Maybe towards the middle. Don't quote me on that, but that's where she lived. She lived there with her son, I think. I still remember the inside of her house. At least the parts of it that I saw. Anyway. So, jeez, you know what? I mean, honestly, not only that, over here, towards the school, it's where my other babysitter was for a long time. Come on, no, pause me. There needs to be a shortcut for that. Okay, so if this is the school, so it had a, dude, did they redo this parking lot? Because this was the old parking lot. This is where the school used to be. So you would have to come in here, and there was one little parking lot, and you drive through, and you'd get dropped off right here at the front door, and then you drive up, around, and then you'd leave. So, and then this was like the gymnasium, and this was where the school was. They've clearly changed things and moved it. But back, if you didn't go there, if you came out and you continued going down, the roads are a little wonky in here. So I think this is Woodbine, and it curved here at the end. Right here, this road that goes into this little cul-de-sac, because this is like a dead end. I think it's legitimately one of these two houses right here was my original babysitter after my grandpa died. This is where I started getting babysat at. I went there every day after school. I stayed there until 5 to 8 o'clock at night, depending on how late my mom worked, because she cleaned houses, so it was different every single day. And I hated it. I absolutely hated it. I did not like the kids there. I had a lot of bad experiences there that are serious in nature that, like, you know, I didn't know until I was older, like, as an adult, and, like, reflecting back on my life and in therapy and stuff like that, that there were some things that happened there that were not good and should not be something that happens to a child. But it wasn't the adults doing that. It was one of the kids. Anyway, it's neither here nor there. Had I told my mom about it, my life would be very much different, but I didn't understand. It doesn't matter. So, the point is, this was the house where I first felt a violent thought that I remember. Isn't that weird? I distinctly remember the thought because I don't remember what happened, but I was in the living room and someone else did something and blamed me for it, and then I got put in timeout. The way that they did the timeout is they had like an L-shaped hallway that ran off to the living room, and you had to go around the L. You had to go around the corner and sit in the dark in the back. And I remember going back there for something I did not do and being angry and bitter and upset about it. And my thought was, and I looked around the hallway edge, and it was the dad who sent me back there. I don't remember their names exactly. Maybe if I thought about it, I could come up with it. But anyway, I don't remember their names. Anyway, I remember thinking, I wish I had a cannon like on a pirate ship, and I would pull the string because I didn't think about it being lit. I thought you pulled it because I watched like Looney Tunes cartoons. You pull the string or whatever I was watching, and you fire. I was going to fire the cannon, and I was going to shoot his head off. That is the first time I ever remember having like a thought where I was like, I would hurt somebody if I could. And you know what? Being blamed for something I didn't do, still a pet peeve of mine. Still a big old pet peeve. Anyway, doing some serious life reflection here. So let's head back over this way, and we're going to try to find my old house. We're going to try to find my old house. It's going to be about in this area somewhere. Okay. That's Woodbine. So you drive down. By the way, I trick-or-treated through here, too. You'd actually would take... I don't remember which road. So I think it's this curved road. One of these, like this long curved road, I think is where I would trick-or-treat. So we'd like hit this road, and it would curve like out and around, and then when you cross the street, there was like a UDF there, United Dairy Farmers. Don't know if that's just an Ohio thing. Haven't ever seen one since, so maybe it's just a Dayton thing. But anyway, on Halloween, if you went there, if you were a kid, you got a free milkshake of any size, any flavor, and they made it fresh right there. Dude, they had such good milkshakes. Anyway, so I would go there, I'd get a free milkshake, and then you'd go into these back roads, and then you'd walk through here, and then I'd walk up and I'd go to my grandma's house, and then usually, depending on how long that took, then I would be driven home. So it was a long walk. Also, funnily enough, anyone who, for whatever reason, might be from Dayton and watching this little road back in here, there was a woman who put up Christmas decorations. And I don't know if you remember when they first had the big inflatable outside decorations, because that's not like always been a thing. That started in like the 90s, I think, or maybe early 2000s, somewhere in that range. Well, there was a lady who had like gigantic ones, like out in her front yard or something like that. Somebody would come by and slash them. And then she would go and buy new ones and put them out, and then they would slash them. And it happened multiple times. Then she was like a local news story of people like coming by and destroying her stuff just for no reason. Yeah, so if that's the corner house right there, that's where Zach lived. It's on a little slope. He once fell and had his lawnmower roll back over his toes and cut his big toe in half. So Woodbine runs through here, and then it reaches these railroad tracks. Okay, so we actually have to go a little further. Let's go. Okay, so this right here is railroad tracks that run straight through here, that occasionally in the middle of the night a train would run through. Don't know where they were going, don't know why. There was like a train station kind of thing, like right over in this area. But it's like abandoned. I don't know where the trains go. This is a flea market. I think that's, this used to be like a Dollar General attached to like a Value City. Don't remember what else is over there. Anyway, neither here nor there. So this is Lori Park. This is Lori Park. This is where I did a summer camp over here once. They had a pool that I went swimming in that, I hated because I was fat and they wouldn't let you wear a shirt, and that's all I wanted. And but they have a huge frisbee golf course. Oh, back up over here, because I'd cut through here. I'd walk through here to go to the library. My local library was right back over in here. And I loved going to my library. It's my library is where I first got like the Harry Potter books and stuff like that, and a lot of good memories there. I found Game of Thrones there, and the Wild Card series by George R.R. Martin. I think it's the one where he has like superheroes and stuff. I found that stuff way before it was ever even a TV show or famous. There were like 2 or 3 books. Like, there weren't even many at the time. And I found all that stuff. Dude, my library was awesome. A lot of great memories there. So, anyway, this is Lori Park. By the way, this is actually a big hill. It doesn't really convey here, but this actually is a big hill. Because this part of Lori Park is actually, like, up on a hill. And this is actually, like, a flat valley. Even this back part and the buildings and stuff are up on big hills. But it doesn't really show up here. But at the top of this hill... literally right here, I know it's a little small and I don't want to fly over there because it's so far away. Right, there's like these like little slices and then the road keeps going. This corner house right here, this is where my friend used to live, Sean Hume. A little bit further down the road, another like block or so, on the right side of the road was a little tiny house that my friend Joe used to live in. I probably shouldn't be giving away last names. This is where my friend Joe used to live. And then right across the street, that's where when his grandma died, that's where they moved to. I remember like, I met, like, his dad was there. I'd see his dad a lot. His dad unfortunately died when he was very young. So anyway, where was I? So this is also a bike path. And I would bring my dog and walk him on these bike paths when I wasn't being like just a kid. Because there were also times where I like took my dog and I went and put his leash, I like tied it to a tree and then climbed the tree and played a video game. And he sat at the bottom of the tree. Like, I don't feel great about that, but I was a kid and I was stupid. So, Josh, who I was talking about earlier, by the way, he lived on the other side of the railroad tracks, back towards this area. He lived like right back in here. I think maybe on the second. He lived like literally right here. One of these 2 houses right here was where he used to live. And then over here's like a strip mall that had like a thrift store, CVS and stuff like that. This is the bus depot. So when I would ride the RTA, which was the Regional Transport Authority, it's like the public transportation in Dayton, to go downtown, it would let me off here, and this is where it would pick me up. So then I would walk home. I'd walk back through this little back area. This used to just be a field. It looks like they started putting something there. I don't remember what it was. I think it was a gymnastics place or something. You walk back through here, I'd cut through this field, I'd get over here, and then I had to walk up through this road. And now, it looks like this is a road. This is not. This is actually where the railroad tracks run through and the walking path, and this is just trees. There is no connecting road through here. These are 2 different roads. They might be the same road, but they're not the same road. Like, you have to like drive all the way around to get to this other side, but you can walk right through. So I'd walk through here, and then I'd hook a left right here, and then it was 1, 2 blocks. It's hard to tell. Again, the trees are so thick, which is weird because I didn't have trees. So I actually think this little spot with or right here. So either like we were the 3rd house, and then there was the house on the corner. But I had a 4-way stop with this road. This road went... Yeah, it's not quite... I don't know. I actually think this house right here was my house. Anyway, one of the... Yeah, because we had the big sideways house on the corner. This is the big sideways house, and then this was where the kids lived across the street, and I still have nightmares about being underneath their deck and them dropping knives at my face. Besides that, though, over here, this is my house. There was another house in the middle, I think. I mean, to be fair, this could be the second house, and then this would be my house. But one of these, like, houses, like, right here, this is my house. And then there's the garage. I pooped behind the garage once because I was mad at my mom, so I pooped outside like the dog, so she had to clean up my poop. I was a weird kid. And then there were people on the street behind us that was called Reading Road, Reading Road. And they had he had some kids that he would send around the neighborhood to steal stuff and then bring back to his house. And then deny it because the police would come by and be, no, man, my kids are just out. Why aren't they do anything? Well, you know. Anyway, so the last thing I'm going to show you, and then we're going to wrap this up. This has just been a walk down memory lane for me. So for some reason, if anyone's ever listened to this, thank you, because, you know, it's meant a lot to me. It's bringing back a lot of memories. There's a lot more I could talk about here. Like, there's a million things. But, neither here nor there, like, you know, Blockbuster and stuff like that. There was all kinds of stuff around. My whole life was around here. So, the last story I want to tell is I want to show you the journey I took once. I don't remember the reason why, so I don't want to say it was my mom's fault, although we've argued about it for many years. I had to, it was my fault. I didn't have a driver's license or a car or anything, but I was going to college, okay? Sinclair Community College, of which I dropped out later. And totally failed, partially due to depression and other things. But anyway, one day, as I remember it, again, it's my memory, which isn't the greatest, my mom was supposed to pick me up, and I couldn't get a hold of her. And after waiting for like 2 hours or something, like I waited there for like long enough that I was like, I can't do this anymore. I'm gonna walk home. So I put on my super heavy backpack and I walked all the way from downtown Dayton all the way back. By the way, my road was a big hill too. Like, also not in here because it was awesome. You'd ride the bike to the top of the hill and then you'd coast down the hill. There were actually a lot of hills in this area that were pretty steep. And excuse me, my apologies. Anyway, so I walked home. So we're going to fly to downtown Dayton in an airplane so you can see how far I'm walked. It might be the longest I've ever walked in my entire life, and it was really only made bad by the fact that I had like a 60-pound backpack on my back. Like, legitimately, it had all of my books. It had everything. And by the time I had blisters on my feet when I got home. Like, it sucked. Anyway, so... and if we can, I will show you, my high school. But I actually don't know for sure where my high school is. So, cut me some slack, if you please. I think we're heading towards it right now. It's not far from downtown Dayton, like, at all. Hit me with a pause. Man, I wish they had road names. So my high school was on a road called East 5th Street. East 5th Street. God, these looks... Okay, so at least at the time, there were a lot of abandoned, like, light bulb and glass factories in downtown Dayton. And this looks familiar because you would drive past them on the way to school. So one of these roads heading into downtown Dayton is definitely the road my school was on. It's hard. It's hard because my school used to be a U-shape. From overhead, I think, but then they added on a building and then they remodeled the school. I wasn't even there at the end because they totally remodeled it and then they moved us. We actually ended up going to school on the other side of downtown Dayton. It used to be like an old, like, nuns, like a nun, like, I don't know what you call it. Like a place where there were like a cloister, like a lot of nuns. It was a huge, like, old, like, church and, like, nun place. Just real quick, hit me with another pause so I can just try to glance around. See, there weren't a lot of roads that ran into downtown Dayton, as you can see. There's only a couple, like, main ones. I was just trying to see. So across the street from my school was a gigantic field. That's my school right there. That's it. It's still a U-shape, baby. What's up? Pause it. Let's go. That is my high school. Wow. Dude, did they really add all of this on? It used to be the U and then this little rectangle. I don't know how far the rectangle went out. But there was a rectangle and that was like the gymnasium. It was like an added on building. It looks like they've added a lot. Like a lot. Like they've got a whole new, like, is this a new parking lot? Did they like buy the like expand the parking lot or buy the adjoining area? Because they didn't own this. This was something else. But anyway, yeah, this is a soccer field. It was the only thing I was always upset about at my school is we didn't have football. We tried to start football one year while I was there, but not enough people wanted to play. So we did not succeed. So anyway, but this road is how I figured out how to get home. So from this, I knew how to go from my school to Sinclair Community College, which I will try to show you, but it's going to be real tough because it's like 15 buildings that they're not even on the same blocks, like they're spread around. And so then I walked all the way along this road, and then I don't remember which road you take, but I walked all the way home. It was a big accomplishment for me, if you can't tell. Still hanging on to that one. So, this is going to be our last flyover of old downtown Dayton here. So, I remember Sinclair being more towards this direction. Even her out, lift her up, and pause. Okay, good enough. So I think this right here, this is part of Sinclair. So, and this actually might be Sinclair right here. Part of Sinclair as well. See, Sinclair, again, it was a lot of buildings spread around. This like long walkway, I think this is part of this is the parking garage. And then this is Sinclair. Okay, so this is Sinclair Community College because there was the walkway to get into the building. And then this is also, I think, Sinclair. So there's the area I think I sat to wait for my mom was like right in this area. Because I felt like I was on like the rightmost buildings, but I wasn't totally sure, because again, you know, looking back on it, I'm realizing how little I actually knew about this place. Yeah, okay, so this was what I thought was kind of like the main entrance area to Sinclair. This clearly looks like the main entrance, but I went in on like one of these side areas, like, so this looks like it's a big building, but there's actually like huge parts of this that you can walk underneath of. So like, and they've got like big spiraling ramps that like go up into the building. So you are like literally standing underneath of like a gigantic building with like huge pillars supporting it. And then that's kind of how you get in to Sinclair. So while it looks like you're waiting out in front of the building here, you're actually waiting like underneath of the second floor of this building. Or it's this building. It's hard to say. But yeah, it was a really cool place. The cafeteria, I think, is like over here. And then this middle area, I think, is the library. It was a real cool college. Totally botched that, like most other things in my life. But that's that. So that was my little tour of Dayton and a little, like, look-through of my life. This was supposed to be a 10-minute video where I said, hey, this is where I used to live, and now it's almost an hour. But it felt really good to talk about all this stuff. Oh, by the way, one last story. Maybe the best one. One day, so when I was in high school, the reason I knew where Sinclair was and was so familiar with it is I did a program in high school. Also why, when I botched up Sinclair, it was really upsetting. I did a program in high school where I got a free education from Sinclair. What I did was, every Saturday, I had to go to Sinclair for like 4 or 5 hours, like for the school year. So I essentially did school 6 days a week. And I would go there with my friend, Steven. And you would do something different like every week. They would teach you different things. They would tell you about different jobs. They would do advanced classes on things. They'd have speakers. It was just like all kinds of stuff to try to, like, you know, help you figure out where you're going and get you ready for the next step of your life. It clearly did not work for me. I did it for like 4 or 5 years. And if you do the program all the way through, you get a free college education from Sinclair when you're done. You have to do stuff to qualify for it, but beside the point. Anyway. So I did that, and there's one day, it's on a Saturday, my mom, I would pick up Steven sometimes, and on the way there, and then we would take him with us. And we picked him up that day, I think. And my mom dropped us off, and we went inside, and we went to the classroom we were supposed to, and there's just no one there. Doors open, just empty. No one in the hallways, but it wasn't totally uncommon. We went there on a Saturday, and, like, sometimes there would be students and stuff like that, but we were often in, like, different buildings and different places. Like, they have a basement, and it goes up to, like, a 3rd or 4th floor. So, like, all of these buildings are very big, and they have lots of classrooms, lots of things. You might only see a couple of people. Like, it's so big that, like, unless it's the middle of the day, there's not a ton of people everywhere. And especially if classes are in, you know, it's not a big deal. We sat down there until just no one's coming. So we sat there for like an hour and a half or something like that. And we go and start wandering around to like look for, we thought we were in the wrong place. And if you don't show up, you don't get credit. So you got to be there. You can only miss a couple like weeks a year or something like that. So we're going around, we're looking for everybody. We can't find anybody anywhere. And then we eventually call my mom to pick us up and take us home. We have to wait on her like an hour or something like that because she's doing something. And she comes and gets us and takes us home. We find out later on the news, no one was in the school because they called in a bomb threat and all of Sinclair had been evacuated and there were police going around and sweeping some of the buildings. They weren't sweeping our building because that wasn't the one where the bomb threat was called in. But there was, classes were canceled, everything was canceled because there was a bomb threat. So we're literally like wandering around, having a good time, laughing, joking, trying to like get into rooms that aren't open and like just messing with stuff you're not supposed to be messing with because we're there and there's no one there. It's a ghost town. And like there's no cars outside, there's just nobody. And yeah, bomb threat, that's why. Bomb. There was a bomb in the building. So, actually, I don't think they ever found a bomb. So there wasn't a bomb in the building, but there was a bomb threat. We had no idea. Yeah, when we went to the other school, is somewhere across the road. And there's like an art place around here, like an art museum and some other cool stuff. But I don't know it well enough to be able to show it all to you. But anyway, this has been a lot of fun. This is really cool. Dude, Microsoft Flight Simulator. What an incredible, incredible game. Really next level stuff. Who knows where I could go next? Dude, I could go to Oneida and see if I can't figure out where my great-grandma used to live when she was still alive. Anyway, thank you so very much. It's been an absolute pleasure, really. Put some good out in the world. I hope some good comes back to you. Go check this out on Game Pass, man. PC, stream it, Xbox, doesn't matter. This is next level. Like, for real, this is next level stuff. So, awesome. Thanks for joining me. Thanks. It really means a lot to get to talk about things, you know? All right, can't wait to see you in the next one. Till then, bye-bye.